Most of the people who identify with the religion of Islam view the Prophet Muhammad as perhaps the greatest man who has ever lived. However, it's not just Muslims who have held the Prophet Muhammad and the religion of Islam in high regard, but also many well-known people from all backgrounds have done so as well. Hey everybody, my name is Leroy Kenton. Welcome back to another episode of FTD Facts. Now in this episode, I'll be sharing quotes from well-known people from past as well as more present times. So make sure you watch this video all the way to the end so you can hear all of the different quotes about Islam and the Prophet Muhammad. Okay, so let's jump in. At number 10, we have a quote from Mahatma Gandhi, and this is what he had to say. I wanted to know the best of one who holds today's undisputed sway over the hearts of millions of mankind. I became more than convinced that it was not the sword that won a place for Islam in those days in the scheme of life. It was the rigid simplicity, the utter self-effacement of the Prophet, the scrupulous regard for his pledges, his intense devotion to his friends and followers, his intrepidity, his fearlessness, his absolute trust in God and in his own mission. Number 9 brings us a quote from Washington Irving. Now, who's he? He was an American writer and a historian, and this is what he had to say. In his private dealings, he was just. He treated friends and strangers, rich and poor, the powerful and weak with equity, and was beloved by the common people for the affability with which he received them and listened to their complaints. His military triumphs awakened no pride nor vainglory, as they would have done had they been effected for selfish purposes. In the time of his greatest power, he maintained the same simplicity of manners and appearance as in the days of his adversity. Even the famous Napoleon Bonaparte had something to say about Islam. He said, "I hope the time is not far off when I shall be able to unite all the wise and educated men of all the countries and establish a uniform regime based on the principles of Quran, which alone are true and which alone can lead men to happiness." Next up at number 7, we have Sarojini Naidu, and she was an Indian political activist as well as a poet, and this is what she had to say. It was the first religion that preached and practiced democracy. For in the mosque, when the call for prayer is sounded and worshippers are gathered together, the democracy of Islam is embodied 5 times a day when the peasant and the king kneel side by side and proclaim, "God alone is great." I have been struck over and over again by this indivisible unity of Islam that makes man instinctively a brother. Number 6 is a quote from the British author and commentator Karen Armstrong. And in her statement she says, "Islam is a religion of success. Unlike Christianity, which has as its main image, in the West at least, a man dying in a devastating, disgraceful, helpless death, Muhammad was not an apparent failure. He was a dazzling success politically as well as spiritually, and Islam went from strength to strength to strength." Alright guys, so we reached halfway in this episode. We took a look at 5 surprising things that people have said about the religion of Islam as well as the Prophet Muhammad. We got 5 more to go, but this is just a reminder to leave a like on this episode. It really helps more people see our videos, as well as if this is your first time here at FTD Facts, hit that subscribe button or ring that bell. That way you can stay up to date with our daily episodes. We post videos every single day where we share information about the different countries, cultures, people, and religion from all around our world. So if any of those topics interest you, stick around, join the FTD Facts family, and I look forward to having you on our journey as well. We're on our road to 1 million subscribers and beyond. But enough chit chat, I want to get back into this episode now. The next statement comes from H.G. Wells. H.G. Wells was a famous English writer, and he said, "The Islamic teachings have left great traditions for equitable and gentle dealings and behavior and inspire people with nobility and tolerance. These are human teachings of the highest order and at the same time practicable. These teachings brought into existence a society in which hard-heartedness and collective oppression and injustice were the least as compared with all other societies preceding it. Islam is replete with gentleness, courtesy, and fraternity." Number 4 brings us the Dalai Lama, and this is a quote from the lips of Dalai Lama himself. "Since September 11th event, in many occasions I always come forth with a defense of Islam. Islam, like any other major tradition, I think the very praising Allah means love, infinite love, compassion, like that. I understand Islam, they usually carry rosaries, all 99 beads, different names of Allah, all refer compassion or these positive things. Former President George W. Bush also had something to say about Islam, and this is what he said in his own words. Islam brings hope and comfort to millions of people in my country and to more than 1 billion people worldwide. Ramadan is also an occasion to remember that Islam gave birth to a rich civilization of learning that has benefited mankind. The legendary talk show host and philanthropist, billionaire Oprah, this is what she had to say about the religion of Islam, specifically about Sufism. She says, "Love Sufism, the divinity of the human soul. Within our spiritual heart, there is a direct connection to God. I have respect for all faiths. But what I'm talking about is not faith or religion. I'm talking about spirituality." And finally, the statement at number 1 comes from Pope John Paul II, and this is what he had to say. "The religiosity of Muslims deserves respect. It is impossible not to admire, for example, their fidelity to prayer. The image of believers in Allah who, without caring about time or place, fall to their knees and immerse themselves in prayer remains a model for all those who invoke the true God. In particular, for those Christians who have deserted their magnificent cathedrals, praying only a little or not at all." Alright guys, so that was a look at 10 surprising things that famous people said about Islam as well as the Prophet Muhammad. Be sure to leave your thoughts and comments down below. And there's definitely a lot of negative dialogue, not just about the religion of Islam, but also various different religions and cultures and people from all around the world. So we decided to do this episode to really shed some light on what other people have to say about the religion of Islam. And definitely if you like this one, let me know down below in the comment section. We could probably do this for other religions as well. Either way, thank you guys for watching. It's always great hanging out with you here on FTD Facts. My social media links are below in the video description section so you can follow me, as well as I'll leave you with a recommended episode that's going to be at the end screen, so tap that annotation once I get out of here, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.